Here's my best attempt to project the 49ers wide receiver depth chart for week 1 in order from 1 down to 7. I'm saying the Niners keep 7 wide receivers this season. Okay. The number 1 wide receiver on the Niners week 1 will be Deebo Samuel. Clear. I mean, George Kittle's going to lead the team in targets, and Deebo Samuel will be number 2. The Niners are a run-first team, so they don't pass a lot. But when they're in these formations with two tight ends, 2 running backs, and only 1 wide receiver, which is something they're going to do a significant amount of the time because they're good at it, Deebo's going to be the one on the field. So there's going to be times when he's the only wide receiver on the field. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He's going to get carries. Deebo's the number 1 wide receiver. Number 2, another the rookie, Brandon Ayuk. The Niners traded up in the first round to take this guy. He's clearly supposed to replace Emmanuel Sanders, who was a instant starter when he came to the 49ers. Ayuk needs to start week 1 and have an impact. I also think he'll be their kick returner and punt returner. So although he won't get as much playing time as Deebo Samuel on offense, he may get comparable playing time when you factor in special teams. Okay, here's where it gets weird. Number 3, I'm going to surprise you. I'm picking Jalen Hurd, the guy who missed his rookie year last year. He was a 3rd-round pick. I've talked a lot about how you can't count on Jalen Hurd. He broke his back. Anything he gives the Niners is gravy. I don't think the Niners think that way. They pretty much think the opposite of me. And the way I'm thinking, they're thinking is he had an injury, but they're invested in him. They took him with a high 3rd-round pick, and they really liked what they saw from him before he got hurt. So he'll have every opportunity to reestablish himself during training camp and preseason. And if he stays healthy, the expectation is he's going to continue to play as well or even better as he played last year. And if that's the case, he's the number 3 receiver. They really like him. They want a big slot receiver. That's the guy. So Hurd, if he stays healthy, he's number 3. Number 4, Trent Taylor, another guy who missed last season, had about 5 surgeries on his foot, a bunch of setbacks. He's supposed to be healthy now. Will he stay healthy? Who knows? But if he does, he's Jimmy Garoppolo's favorite target on the team. Jimmy throws to Trent Taylor more than he throws to Kittle, to Deebo, consistently. I saw it in training camp last year. Always looking for Trent Taylor. Those two hit it off instantly in 2017. Remember, Jimmy Garoppolo is a former Patriots quarterback, and the Patriots offense is built around quick passes to slot receivers. That's Jimmy's comfort zone. As long as Jimmy's on the team and Trent Taylor's healthy, Trent Taylor's on the team, and he'll have a role in the offense. So Trent Taylor, number 4. Number 5, I'm going to surprise you. The veteran, Travis Benjamin. The 49ers signed him this offseason, gave him $1 million. He's, in my opinion, going to make the team because he offers things that other wide receivers on this team don't. First, he's a veteran. The Niners are going to want one veteran, at least one, in their wide receiver room. The rest of the guys are babies. Not babies, but young. 1st or 2nd, 3rd year guys. The Niners wanted Emmanuel Sanders' veteran presence in the wide receiver room, and they're going to want Benjamin's as well. Also, Benjamin is a legitimate deep threat. The other guys aren't. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, they're more yards after the catch guys. Shanahan still likes taking deep shots off of play action, and Benjamin's the best option on the team. He sort of replaces Marquise Goodwin. He also could be a punt returner. So I think Travis Benjamin will be number 5 on the depth chart. Okay, number 6. I think it's going to be the rookie Jajuan Jennings. The Niners took him in the 7th round, probably because they felt if they waited to get him as an undrafted free agent, they wouldn't get him. And which means if they try to release him after training camp and sneak him onto the practice squad, he probably won't get snuck. Probably someone will, that's not a word. So probably someone will take him, claim him, and he'll play for another team. So if he plays as the 49ers expect him to, as he played at Tennessee, I mean, he looks really good. He's going to make this team. Maybe he won't play much as a rookie, but the Niners don't want to lose him. That's why they spent a draft pick on him. So I'm saying 6th on the depth chart is Jajuan Jennings. Now, I got 3 names I haven't listed. Kendrick Bourne, Richie James Jr., and Dante Pettis. The best wide receiver of them, Kendrick Bourne. The best special teamer of those 3, Richie James. The one who's going to make the team, I think, is Dante Pettis. and not based on merit. He's going to make the team, I think, because the 49ers are invested in him. They traded up in round 2 to take him. So they've invested draft picks, and Kyle Shanahan has invested his reputation and ego to an extent into Dante Pettis. Kyle Shanahan's really good. One weakness of him, if you could call it a weakness, or just a mark of youth, is his reluctance to admit a mistake. He would rather roll with someone who is underperforming for a long time and hope to reverse that player's performance and the perception around him than to just react to the way things have unfolded and play the best player. I think Kyle Shanahan would love Dante Pettis to have a rebound season next year. And I think what Kyle Shanahan's thinking is if Dante Pettis can just do his part, come to training camp in shape and hungry to play football, actually want to play, that Shanahan can do the rest, can put him into scheme him into open spaces and give him the best chance to succeed. So I don't see the Niners cutting Dante Pettis. I mean, maybe they could trade him, but he's not worth much. He's probably worth less than Marquise Goodwin, who was worth like a late 6th-round pick. So the surprise to me is that Pettis will sneak onto the roster for the 3rd year as the 7th guy. Doesn't mean he'll play much, but I think he'll make the team. I don't think there's any way the Niners cut him, and even though they'd like to trade him, maybe no one's going to trade for Pettis, I'm guessing. So that means I think Kendrick Bourne and Richie James Jr. won't make the team. Richie James, it seemed like he was doomed as soon as the Niners took Ayuk, because James is on the team to return punts and kicks, and he's not even that great at doing that. He's pretty good. He's had some returns for touchdowns, but in the Super Bowl, he couldn't even get the ball past the 20-yard line, it seemed, on those kick returns. Ayuk is going to be the primary kick and punt returner. If it's not him, it'll be Travis Benjamin. So I think pretty clear, Richie James Jr., former 6th-round pick. Niners aren't terribly invested in him. He'll be out. And then Kendrick Bourne. That's the tricky one. He's better than Dante Pettis. But Kyle Shanahan is invested in Pettis. He's said multiple times that Pettis could be the best player on the team, could be. And if they were to cut Pettis, it would make him look, it would make Shanahan look bad. Bourne was an undrafted free agent. Any success that Bourne has had, Shanahan can point to as being, that's my scheme, that's my system, that's my development. I believe that there's no way the Niners are going to pay Kendrick Bourne the $3.3 million he's scheduled to earn. I mean, Deebo Samuel's scheduled to earn $1.7. Kendrick Bourne is either going to have to take a massive pay cut, like slash that salary in half, or the Niners are going to have to find a trade partner for him. I think it's likely he won't make the team. If Jalen Hurd and Trent Taylor stay healthy, Kendrick Bourne's got in a real tough position. He'll have no leverage. The Niners can say, we prefer these young guys who make a quarter of what you make. Are you willing to restructure your contract, take a big pay cut? If he says yes, he'll probably stay on the team. If he says no, they might just outright cut him. So it depends largely on Trent Taylor and Jalen Hurd, but that's the way the NFL works, and that's the way Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers work. They play favorites to an extent. Since Kyle Shanahan is the coach and the one picking the wide receivers, Shanahan isn't going to change his mind right away. And maybe that's a positive. He is convicted. If he felt Jalen Hurd is good, he's not going to change his mind because Hurd missed one season with an injury. He's going to say, let's stick with Hurd. I believed he was good then. I believe he's good now. The only thing that's changed is one injury. Give him a chance. With Kendrick Bourne, he'll say, well, I never drafted Kendrick Bourne. I never thought he was that great. He's exceeded expectations, but the expectations were low to begin with, and I don't want to pay him $3.3 million, and he's going to have to do something about that. That's the way I see it shaking out. Again, number 1, Deebo. 2, Ayuk. 3, Trent Taylor. Let me do it again. 1, Deebo. 2, Ayuk. 3, Hurd. 4, Trent Taylor. 5, Travis Benjamin. 6, Jajuan Jennings. 7, Dante Pettis with Kendrick Bourne and Richie James, the odd man out.